This is an example of an activity that we might use early in the sequence of Phase 4 learning. That is when students are transitioning from informal units to formal units. In part 1, we're going to explore making our own ruler using what were previously informal units like blocks, giving them a value like centimeters, and building that out to make a ruler that we can then go and measure a whole bunch of stuff with. The second part is measuring a whole bunch of stuff. Doing a little bit of pre-class work can allow so much more time in class to explore the concepts in depth. These are some examples of pre-class work that might be set in the early stages of Phase 4 learning. The first one is a game where a gnome explores his garden and we have to measure a variety of different lengths. The second, a short video that explains the problems with informal units, transitions to standard units, and then discusses how to appropriately use standard measurement devices like rulers. In part 1, students are going to make their own rulers. Why make our own and not pick one up off the desk? Well, it's about understanding that what were previously informal units, such as blocks, can now be used to represent formal units. So we're going to take this block, we're going to give you a value of 1 centimeter. If we repeat that 30 times, we have 30 centimeters. If we mark those on a piece of paper, we have a ruler that is 30 centimeters long. The purpose for giving time for artistic flair is that as students are building their ruler, allowing time to process it, to work around it, to sit with it, allows it time to sink in. We have one block. That block is 1 centimeter long. 30 of these make a 30 centimeter ruler. How many millimeters are there? Part 2 begins with a short transition video. We explore height and length through the eyes of a Himalayan explorer who compares himself with the mountains, the tallest man on Earth, and a whole bunch of other objects. After this, the class will split into groups and go and explore at measuring stations. The types of measuring stations will be bring your own device, where students will take the rulers that they've made and go and explore a number of objects in the area, recording their results and comparing with others. At station 2, tools will be provided, like rulers, tape measures, but students have to find their own things to measure, like walls and doors and desks. In the third station, students will measure themselves and others. They'll use the rulers that they've made and potentially other objects like tape measures to find out how tall they are, how long their arm is, or how big their foot is. This information can then be collected as a class and we'll put it up on a wall as comparison. We know from early numeracy research that students completing this task will bring a wide variety of understanding to the table. At the beginning of grade 3, where this would often be sequenced, some students may still be grappling with Phase 2 understanding, while others may be using standard metric units of length in their day-to-day reasoning and problem solving. Task 2 operates as a formative assessment opportunity. Teachers will be able to observe students using a variety of different tools to measure length in a variety of settings and with a variety of peers. Directed questioning can be used to expose student strength and weakness, and facilitated discussion either between peers or peers and teachers can help explore the content in more in-depth ways. Inclusion and extension will mainly be covered through facilitated discussion, either with a more experienced peer, teaching a peer that needs additional support, thus reinforcing both of them, or A teacher stepping in to help solve problems that the group's struggling with.